let me stop right there. The best way to protect a car in a trust is to make it an irrevocable trust. If it's a standard, living trust, but it's not irrevocable, whoever's involved in that trust will have issues um, with the trust. Say if the trustee has financial issues, tax issues, because in some senses, the trustee is considered the legal owner of the asset. Um, the grantor, if he's got tax issues or other lawsuits, they can penetrate that trust, depending on how it's written. But if it's an irrevocable trust considered its own entity, and none of the parties involved have any liability because that asset belongs to that trust. The trustee is just managing it. All right. So some people will say, oh, if it's irrevocable, you can't change it, this, that, and the other. That's true. But if you have wording in that trust that gives the trustee power to buy and sell and title property and take title to property, you could put a car in the trust and it can come out of it, long as that language is there. And that's going to be a very important language to have in there, especially when you're registering the car. They are going to look for that. When I get to that part, I'll go into detail. Another advantage of putting your car into a trust is privacy. When you put your car into a trust, it is no longer in your name and therefore not listed as one of your assets. This can provide you with a sense of privacy and confidentiality and help to keep your financial information private. In addition to asset protection and privacy, putting your car into a trust can also allow you to pass down your assets to future generations. So, depending on how you write this trust, you can say who gets it next. There won't no arguments over your property. Um, Make sure nobody else is trying to get in. Doesn't look like it. We're still missing 2 people. All right. That means your car can be passed to your children or other beneficiaries without the need for probate court proceedings. This can save your loved ones time, money, and stress and ensure that your assets are distributed according to your wishes. In conclusion, putting your car in trust offers a number of benefits, including asset protection, privacy, the ability to pass down your assets to future generations. The other benefit that's not mentioned here, when you buy a car with a trust, especially if you take a loan out, that is considered a business expense. So that loan can be written off. Those payments, those monthly payments, you could write them off as an expense to the trust. Registration, any fees, oil changes, all that stuff can be passed, become a tax credit. Now, if you have it in your name and you're using it what they call personal use, they're not going to give you that tax break on some of the stuff that you do unless you're using that specific car for work related stuff. And then you have to separate from what's personal and what's not. But when it's already titled to a trust, it's a business expense. When you open up a bank account for a trust, it's a business account. So that's the major benefit to having your car in a trust. All right. So those are the benefits. So you got to create your trust before you can buy a car, put it in, title it into a trust. You got to create a trust. Creating a trust is a process of establishing a legal arrangement which trustees hold and manage assets such as property or financial assets on behalf of one or more beneficiaries. The process of creating a trust involves several steps, including 1, determine the purpose of the trust. For the purpose of this webinar, you creating a trust for a car. Now, this is what I do. I have several trusts. I have a trust specifically for cars, and I have a trust specifically for properties such as a house or other valuable assets. I will not put a car in the same trust as a house. Why? I'm driving around in this car all day. I hit somebody. I'm at fault. And if my insurance doesn't cover everything, um, and something really serious happens, and that trust, that insurance policy for the car doesn't cover everything, they can go after the other assets that belong to that trust. So if you have your home and your car in the same trust, they can come after that car, just like any other individual. A trust is an individual, it's a person. So it can be sued just like anybody, anything. So be mindful when you put in a car in the trust that you don't put it put anything in that trust that you don't want to lose. Okay? That's just the way I do it. So when I bought the car I'm going to show you that how I did it, there's nothing else in that trust but that car. That's it. So there you have it. All right. Choose your trustee. The next step is to choose a trustee who will be responsible for managing assets in the trust. This can be an individual or an institution, such as a bank or trust company. So they're saying an individual could be a trust or a institution. Basically, what they're saying, an entity, any entity can be a trustee as well. So if you're in my premium membership, we show you how to have a trust, and then you create another trust that looks like you. So like my name is Akiem Barber. I have an Akiem Barber trust. But that Akiem Barber trust is a trustee for my other trust. But it looks like me, but it ain't me. All right. So I control all of these entities through EINs and trust, but I don't own any of it. Okay. The living, breathing being doesn't own it. I just control it. All right. Are we following? Are you guys following me?
Yes, sir, we are.
All right. So the key to success is to control stuff. Limit your ownership. Why? Because ownership comes with problems for you. You can be sued and they can take it all away from you. But if it's in an entity name, they can't touch it. So somebody was about to say something. Who was that? Hello? Wasn't nobody? I thought I heard somebody trying to talk. All right. Oh, let me say this. If you have questions, hold them till I set it up for you to ask the questions. Be mindful. And those of you, keep your mics muted unless you're ready to speak or you're asked to speak. Just being respectful for everybody here. So far, everybody's doing good. I just have to mention that. All right. Draft the trust agreement. Once you have determined the purpose of the trust and chosen a trustee, the next step is to draft the trust agreement. This is a legal document that outlines the terms and conditions of the trust, including the names of the trustor, trustee, and beneficiaries, the assets included in the trust, and the duties and responsibility of the trustee. So let's go back to what I said. I chose a trustee. What I chose was an entity, a trust, another trust that I created to control my other trust. All right. So some people, oh, you can't be the trustee and the beneficiary. You can't be this and that. It depends on how you set it up. If the trustee is an entity, yes, you can be the beneficiary. Yes. Fund the trust. The next step is to fund the trust by transferring ownership of the assets you want to include in the trust to the trustee. It isn't very important. A lot of people are setting up trust, but they are not funding the trust. A trust is not a trust until it gets funded, until it has an asset to control or to hold. Okay? If you got a trust, hey, I got a trust. Many people, I got me a trust. Okay, what does that trust own? Oh, I don't know. I ain't got no ownership. It doesn't mean that trust don't own anything It's not a trust. It's just a piece of paper that says some stuff on it. Okay. So fund it with anything. Fund it with $20, $10, whatever. Now you have an official trust. If you ain't ready to put a car in it or anything else, fund it with $1, a cell phone, whatever. Put something in it. And what you do is just create a Schedule A for assets, and then you list in detail what that asset is. So those of you who have trust and you have not done that, you got some homework to do. And that static are being sacrificed. And that's if your stuff's not available, they can't hear it. Sometimes you got to feel your way through the dark. And I struggled all the way up into the minute. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the name.
How was our perception hijacked? How? Our perception has been hijacked from the day we entered into this world. And the people that started off, the ones that started off the hijacking of our perception was our own parents. Not to be angry with our parents. They were only doing what they knew. I always say that. People only do based on what their perceptions are. That means in order for them to hijack our perception, their perception was already hijacked. Everything they believed and was taught from the time they were born, that's what they held on to. And what they thought was right for you, what was right for me, they taught it to us. Today I was reading up, I went back and started studying the American educational system. Did you know that the American education system was never meant for us, black folks, people of color, aboriginals, Native Americans? It was not meant for us. It wasn't designed for us to be a part of it. It was introduced into the colonies, started up north, the New England area, and worked its way south. So when you start talking about the civil rights movement and things like that, our perception was hijacked even when it came to that, because we were fighting to become part of a system that was never meant for us. And it went on a massive propaganda campaign to make us feel like we were being left out. What kills a lot of people's aspirations is once they fall off the horse, they get off the rail, they get sidetracked, they don't start over. They don't pick up where they left off. What they do is, this is the thing that people do. They go find some other thing that they want to do and try to start over with that. Or start with that, not start over, start something new. I see it all the time. I see people, hey, I got this business, I'm doing this and it. And then they reach a point where it's not working, or it seems like it's not working. But, I always tell you, it's always working. Even in the times where it looks like it's not working, it's working. What it's showing you is maybe you need to just reevaluate how you're doing stuff. And then they quit and they go to something new. And then they get to a point with that and and then they move on to something else. Know what habit they're developing? Giving up and starting new processes. Because they figure, oh, maybe that was a bad idea. Let me go over here. Maybe this is a bad idea. Let me go over here. I've had that happen. People I work with. Right before they reach that point, that threshold of a new level, they give up. Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Truth Tuesday with your host, Akiem here on Hindsight Radio. I noticed somebody did a thumbs down. I didn't inspire someone. They didn't like it. That's how life is. Not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna like what you're doing. And some people just, honestly, with the information I was given, I don't see anything was wrong with it. What it is some people just have to let you know, have to come and down you. And guess what? That thumbs down, although that was a thumbs down, that's one more like view. That's a view that came to the channel. I get credited for that, so I don't lose. See, for every one dislike, I got 3. So hey, it happens like that. Hey, peace and blessings to whoever that was that did the thumbs down. I hope you find success in the content that you really want to watch. That you agree with, that aligns with your spirit. I remember when I was working with other people and I stopped working, people from that I used to like come on my show and give me props and stuff like that. And every now and then I would tune in to the other channels just to see what was going on. And I'd hear those same people over there dogging me, talking about me. The same people that came over to my show. it was giving me props. You know what that means? You know what that means, right? That means that people haven't come into themselves. People don't know their true purpose. That's why they have to flip flop and be over here and be something for someone else and be different in another setting. See, those are people who have not found the Christ in themselves. See, they're looking for the Christ outside of them. They're looking for someone to give them all the answers to their life. And I'm sorry, no one will be able to give you the answers to your life. There's only one Christ. There's only one person, one divine being that can give you all of your answers. Just one. You. You're the only one. You're the only one. And that's what I try to keep telling people. I, I, I'm not here to save you. I'm just here to show you who you really are and convince you that you are the Christ you're looking for. You are the answer. Everything, every success, everything you want to do to make happen, you are the answer. I know that goes against all of the old school doctrines of religion. You got to go find God somewhere and he'll fix it once you agree or you believe with in him, something to that effect. You just sit there and you wait. No. Once you realize where God really is, where the Christ really is, all problems are resolved. It's like the story. I was listening to Reverend Ike. I've listened to this one a lot. And the prodigal son scripture. And in this, he came to himself. He came to himself and realized where he needed to be. What happened? He realized he didn't go call it, Dad, guess what? I messed up. No, he can't. He realized where the truth was within himself. He came to the realization where his true power was. And he returned. And he returned in such a state where he said, you know what? I'll accept whatever my father has to offer me. I'll do the work just like the regular people. I just want to get back into a place where I'm surrounded by divinity, a wealth of divinity and a wealth of material things. I just want to get in that place. I don't care how I get there. And see, that's how we have to be. We have to get to the point where we want to get to a place where our mind is operating how it was created to operate. Get rid of all of this social programming that we've been given. All these false ideas of how we're supposed to be. We have to put off all of these false illusions. But thanks to the person who did the thumbs down. I appreciate you. For everybody that's here that's listening, to offset that one thumbs down, please give me a like if you like it. Only if you like. Don't give it just to go along and get along. Just if you like what I'm saying, just press that thumbs up button. So, as usual, sometimes I sit here pondering on what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to share, and sometimes my mind is cloudy, and I know why, because I have so much going on in here with, running a trucking company, trying to do this, get up many things off the ground. So I have decided I got something I need to do for Hindsight Radio, Church Phenomenon, and I'm gonna focus on that now until that gets going. Just stick with that. Yes, I'm still gonna run a trucking company, but my 100% focus is gonna be on getting this project that we've been working on off the ground. Oh, as a um right here, I got a webinar coming up on March the 16th. I was gonna do it in person, but the timing is too close for me to do that, so I'm gonna have to put that off until April. Um, this webinar is gonna pretty much be an all-day webinar. It's gonna be, not all day. It's gonna be what, 5-6 hours. So it's gonna be about nationality correction, the injunction process. A lot of people have been asking me about that. The injunction genocide. Can you just reteach it again and add in the new stuff that you've been working on? Name change process also. I don't have too many. Yeah, I think the affidavit might have changed a little, but it's pretty much the same. But for people who are not familiar with it or having a tough time with it, I'm going to teach that again. National passport process, definitely some new additions to that. Private trust, private banking. When I mean private banking, how to operate with your trust in banking. Discharging debt. What I mean by that is properly submitting 1099s. We're gonna talk about that somewhat. Things along the whole trust debt. And one of the main focuses is student loan debt. How to get rid of that, how to get that discharged, how to get rid of that without having to kick a dollar out of your pocket. I'm gonna be teaching on that. And UCC filings. I never did a webinar specifically on that, but we're gonna talk about that and what it takes to get that done. So that's March the 16th. That's a Saturday. And go to my website, akemail.com, and click the link. The donation's like $197 for all of that information. And guess what? You get the recording and the templates with the webinars. Get the recording and the templates. So that's going to be quite a bit. You got a template for the passport process, the name change, the injunction. What else? A trust template. No real template for private banking. Maybe a cheat sheet for that. The discharge process. I'll show you what those 1099s look like. I will even show you the letter that I got from my bank after I issued a 1099 to them. What they sent me. I'll show you a copy of that. And a copy of my UCC, non-UCC filing. All right. That's it. So let me see. I'm looking for something here. There we go. I had to put my logo up. So I was reading, as usual, the Bible again, as always. And I don't know. I'm going to ask the ancestors, just privately ask them, should I teach this right now? I don't know. I'm a little torn about teaching this. And the reason why is because this will take me to a level of teaching that most people will be confused about. I don't know. I'm gonna hold off. That's what the word is saying, me telling me right now. Because this will take me to explain this. And it was all about the parables. It was all about the separation of, just in a general sense, the separation and weeding out the weeds from the good from the wheat. And a lot of times we feel like we could help people, and some people just not willing to be helped. And guess what? Some people is not of the same stock. They may look like you, walk like you, just have the similar appearances, but they're not of the same ancestral background. There is two distinct people on this planet. Is this your people that are good, basically, and that's most people, and there's people that's just straight up evil and don't care about doing anything good for anyone else but themselves and furthering their agenda. We have to come to that realization that that is the case, and that you're not going to fix these people. But how do you know who these people are? Simple. By the fruit they bear. What are they bearing? What production? Like, there's a group, there's people that will get out here and teach stuff to people, and they've never had any experience. I was actually watching a video of a young lady being interviewed, and she was talking about she's going to teach people how to be millionaires. And she had just only made $70,000 that year. But she was starting up classes to teach people how to be millionaires. And she really, well, I'm going to be a millionaire. Okay, that's good that you have that goal. But you can't teach anybody how to do something you haven't accomplished. I can only teach you as far as the level of money I've ever made, which is quite a bit. But but can I teach you how to make 1 billion? Even multiple millions? Can I teach you how to do that? No, because I haven't gotten there yet. I'm getting there. I'm there. I gotta see myself there. But I ain't gonna sit here and tell you, hey, I'm gonna show you how to you make all these millions, and I ain't did it. And this is what I'm talking about. There's people that are just interested in just making money off of whatever they can make money off, which is great. But what's not great is teaching. It's called what you call I call it being a false prophet or false teacher. And it's a lot of that. And interesting enough, a lot of people like listening to people who teach from a place of theory and guesswork. They they love it. And they get all the followers, that's what they're talking about, that road that's so wide and spacious. And everybody finds that false road. A lot of people find that. And they enjoy it. Oh, you must have saw that. DJ B Thunder, you must have saw that. He said she was funny and hella arrogant, but people follow her, which is ever crazier. They follow her because they follow her because truth is not in them. That's what I'm saying. Very few people go after the truth. Most people go after what they like to hear. Like when I started off in space, people wanted to hear that they didn't have to pay their bills anymore and they could discharge and they could do all of these fancy things, even though there was no shred of proof out there that it could be done the way it was being taught. All people said was they did it. I did it. And people bought into that. And see, that's what I'm saying. Generally, people are good and they take you on your word. But at the same time, people take people on their word because they have a dream they want to fulfill. And that person is speaking to that dream. And that's where discernment comes into play. And we have to remove ourselves, the emotion from it, and see the facts. Listen, I got caught up like that big time. Big time. And that's why I speak like I do, because I always ask people when they come to me with ideas of teachings from other people, I always ask them one thing: wherever you got this information from, did this person show you proof? Let me take another swig because I have a feeling I haven't gotten to the part. Ask them one thing: did this person show you proof? You know what I get every time? It has not been a time that I've asked the person that question and they gave me, yeah, here's the proof. Never, I have never received the proof when I ask these people. And there's people I've talked to them say, and then I talk to them say, you need to get proof. You need to get proof. This and that. Oh yeah, okay. And then these same individuals who come talking to me, bringing up these theories, and these people are literally losing their own house. They're in foreclosures and having problems keeping up with their situation, but they got all the answers. Uh-oh, this is gonna be one of them nights. The ancestors saying, just let it out. Let just bring the hammer down. Uh-oh. They like, if you want real results in your life, if you want things to work for you, and what I mean by work, I mean work in a way that it brings peace and harmony to your life and to the people around you. You have to cut off all the liars and the people that are playing games. You can't entertain this foolishness anymore. We don't have the kind of time. I was reading something and I thought about doing a show on it. But I'm gonna tell you, since the pandemic, 2020, since 2020, when was the pandemic? Was it 2020 or 2021? Can't remember. Do y'all realize the banks do not have to hold your deposits anymore? They're exempt now from holding deposits, keeping money on hand, just so people can withdraw it. This is why when you take a large amount of money out, they question you and they want to know why you're taking it. So what that means, if the banks are not obligated to hold a certain amount of their deposits so that people can make on-demand withdrawals, that means that the slightest, and I mean the slightest, bank run will cripple the bank. It will shut them down. Just the slightest bad rumor will shut them down. And people get nervous and start taking all their money out. The banking system is so fragile right now. I mean, it's like teetering. It's right there on the verge of breaking. Personally, I believe it already broke. It's just the feds are so good at propping it up that we don't feel the effects until they can't prop it up anymore. And that's coming. Hold on, I'm taking a pause. I'm asking, should I speak on what I'm about to say? Okay. I'm not trying to give y'all a message of doom and gloom here, but if I think it'll be a good idea on a weekly basis to start stocking up on some things. Start, you know, your dry goods like beans and grains and stuff like that, put them to the side, some water, Um, I think it'd be a good idea to start working towards that. And I'm not saying anything's about to break soon, but I'm telling you, it's imminent. It's imminent. And imminent means that any social disorder, any psyop will tip it. You know how these things work. You know, one day you're feeling good about things, things don't seem to be fine. You get what you call being in the the, the eye of the storm, which I believe we're in. And then boom, just one unlikely event that you think would tip the scale, tips it. Stock up on some things. I would tell you to store some cash somewhere, which I can't tell you what you do financially, but you know, at some point, the Bible even says it, that money won't mean a thing. You see, that money won't mean cash won't mean anything because I mean, y'all do realize that paper money is not even money. It's currency, whatever we use it. The only reason why it has value is because this system says it has value. Once it changes its mind and said it's no longer valuable to them and they move on to another area. I read something else. I didn't verify this. You can verify. Some of y'all might might know more than this than me. I didn't have time to research it, but I heard that a lot of the major players sold a lot of their stock of their own companies, liquidating big players. Jeff Bezos, uh, Elon, and it was what's his name? Warren Buffett. I heard that. I didn't haven't read it for my own self, so I don't want to say that's fact. I'm gonna go research that. They dumping. And for years, you know these things when I started hearing about these events here in the last 10 years. But that's about right. It takes about 10, 15 years when the problem starts to manifest. And I believe the problem manifested back in 2008. 2008 was the start, or maybe now I wouldn't say start, the revealing of the cracks we had in our system. And the only reason why we were able to stay afloat because they bailed out the banks who made the bad decisions in the first place. They gave the money to the big boys. Why did they give the money to the big boys? Because the Federal Reserve depends on these banks to make more money, right? You deposit 1,000, it becomes 10,000. So without those banking institutions, we're done. See, for the Federal Reserve to be viable, it needs the financial institutions to keep creating money out of thin air. It needs that. That's their partner. That's their partner in crime. So that y'all said, well, they bail out these big, they got to. Because if they didn't, we'd be a third world country already. But then a couple years ago, you got warnings. All these other banks have failed, right? Then you started hearing how the banks are just seizing people's deposits just for no reason, just freezing their accounts and locking their money up. And I'm asking answers, why did they do that? And they're telling me, this is what they tell me. They had to lock because there was a semi run on the bank, so they had to choose certain accounts to hold on to keep them from failing, and came up with some reason why they froze those accounts. because behind the scenes they didn't have enough money to meet their withdrawal demands. So they just took, and the accounts they were locking up was people with substantial amounts of money in their account. And now that they're using AI, they could tell your behaviors and make predictive calculations and say, well, we'll mess with this person this time. So anybody with a big amount of money in the bank account, I I'd be very cautious about holding large amounts of cash in a bank account right now, because they're not obligated to have any deposits on hand for so that you can make withdrawals. Now, I was sitting here lost for about a good 45 minutes on what I was going to talk about. As soon as the lights hit, boom, I'm here. I'm telling y'all stuff I've known for a long time. I just didn't want to talk about it. And now they're saying you better talk about it, because it's that beast is standing at the door, about to reveal itself. Somebody said, here it is. Jason says, yes, that's true. Bezos, Buffett, Walmart, etc. All of them sold mass amount of stocks. That's what the other one, Walmart, the Waltons. All it takes is one small thing that seems insignificant that could change the trajectory of this country's future. But I'm telling you, the word in the spirit realm says it's already here. We just not feeling the effects of it, because the powers that be have been propping it to make it look like everything is okay, so that you don't panic and run on that bank. Because the moment that run happens, it's done. And think about it. These same people that are given the authority to not hold deposits, what you think they've been doing with the money? I ain't got to hold it. So they've been recklessly doing whatever their money making. You think just because they can invest your money and make money off of it, you don't think they're making bad investments? Yes. They say the average returns for most, especially if they invest in the market, is what, 6%? So yes, they lose too. And they're losing people's money. And Lord help the people with 401ks. And the people with expecting Social Security, I'll be damned. They're spending that money. That money is gone. Every dime that you put in there, they are doing other stuff with it. What do you think? How are they getting the money to give to places like Ukraine? How are they doing that? Where are they getting that from? Oh, and best believe y'all some of y'all who've been doing my IRS process and fighting them off. Oh, they watch you get a brand new set of letters trying to get some more money out of you. Some of you who even paid off the debts gonna get letters saying you owe some money. They got to get the money from the slaves. That's how they try to keep it going. But the word up in the spirit realm says, do this. You'll be fine. Everything's going to be okay. Over the last month, 2 months, I've been making my own bread, because I can't eat that stuff out of the store. But what it has done to me, it has opened up my whole consciousness, my whole perception that I don't need a grocery store for food.
I don't need it. So the only people that's gonna really panic and be all up in arms is people who are stuck on needing the establishment to support them for food. See, man has tricked us into thinking that we need them to grow our food for us when God gave us the ability and the know-how to grow our own food. Yeah, oh, Akiem, I don't know how to grow no food. Yes, you do. If you could take a seed and just drop it in the ground and keep it watered, you're fine. It'll grow. You don't need any special chemicals and all this stuff. Just yeah, maybe you need to do a little research. But see, that's how they did it. They complicated the whole harvesting and growing things so much that people think it's a hard thing to do is to grow some food. I bought some plants during the pandemic. I bought 3 or 4 plants. Was four plants, and all of them are the type of plants that remove toxins out of the air, right? Toxins. And one of the plants is this tall now. When I bought it, was like this little small thing in a little starter pot. Now it's like this tall, almost 5 feet. And then guess what I do to it? Guess what I do? Just put water in the pot. I changed the pot out once since I've had it. And I'm sitting here realizing the ancestors make me realize that I you was inspired to buy those plants so you could show you that growing is not really that hard. I just get some tap water, pour it in there every once a week. And the thing is that tall. And the other ones are blooming like crazy just from regular old tap water. Nothing, no special nutrients. 2 of them sit in my bedroom because I want them to clear the toxins out of my bedroom, and 2 of them sit in the front of the house. I think I'm gonna get some more and just like fill my house up with plants. So back to the making bread thing, how easy it is. I made bread, I made bagels, and all I did was 4 ingredients: the flour, the salt, the yeast, and the water. And it tastes way better than that store-bought bread. So good that, man, I'll run through a whole, man, I run through that bread. I gotta be careful. I tried my hands at making some like a hamburger bun. It didn't come out so great. Now I'm gonna make me some tortillas. I'm gonna make I know a way to make those now. So I can make my own breakfast burritos. And I bought a big 50-pound bag of flour, good quality flour. So I don't have to go to buy, I probably won't have to go buy flour for a very long time. Because I'm making bread maybe 2-3 times a week. And then I started making, I never really was into all of the cooking stuff. And I started doing other little things and experiment with different things. Like I made my own, I don't, my form of fried chicken without the grease. I batted it up with the flour, made my, do some parsley, some different little ingredients. And then guess what? I stuck it in the oven and baked it, fried it, instead of putting it in all of the grease. And it came out just almost just as good as eating because guess what happened? The oil from the chicken created something, I guess, and it came out like as if I had put it in some grease, in a frying pan. So I guess the grease from the chicken kind of gave it that its own grease. We don't need grocery stores. We damn sure don't. We don't. We definitely don't need the water that they put into that tap. Yeah, I did a video on how that tap water comes out with this water electrolyzer, showing you all of the chemicals. You're really drinking chemicals when you drink out of the tap. Literally. When I worked at the barbershop, there was a guy who worked for the water company in Columbia, South Carolina. And he told us exactly how they get that water clean. He said, yeah, they throw a bunch of chemicals in it, a bunch of deodorizers in it, and to give it its clear color. So basically, they just covering up all of the toxins and giving you a clear, making you think it's clean by giving it a clear look through chemicals. So you basically drinking chemicals when you're drinking tap water. So I distill my water. I got a water distiller, and I distill it. And I think there's a kit on how you can make your own water distiller. You can distill water just by some regular firewood. Put something on there. Because what is this? What's this distillation process? It's to boil the water till it turns into a steam, then it hits something cool, and it starts to drip the clean water, and it leaves all of the residue back in the original pot. Somebody asked me, what's the name of the plants? Oh, God. You asked, one is a snake plant. One is, it was different ones. I don't know the names offhand, bro. I can't tell you offhand. But I'll get them and get them to you. I, I, I got to look at my eBay, my Amazon account because I bought them off Amazon. Yeah, you can buy plants off Amazon. I think I paid for each one of those plants maybe a few dollars a piece. They were very cheap. Okay, they were like little. They came in those little square things with the little buds. Now the plants up here, and I keep two of them in my bedroom. But I want to keep more. I'm gonna get like a nice little corner, have nothing but plants right there, just cleaning my ear. And sometimes I call me crazy. I talk to the plants. I rub them down, wipe them down, get the dust off of them sometimes, and talk to them, talk positive to them. So although it's imminent that we are going to have an economical collapse, that's imminent. When, I can't tell you, but it's here. And the why I say it's imminent is because all of the signs are there. Now, the signs were there 20, 30 years ago, but they are like intensely there now. Like at its height. It's just a matter of time before we break. And I'm in the transportation industry, so I see what's moving around the country. And we have the freight that's moving around and what they want to pay us to move this stuff. They really they tripping. So anyway, be on the watch. Be diligent. Yes, you can still be success. See, anytime there is a collapse, there's always millionaires are made through collapse. So you just want to be on the right side of that. You need to be diligent and looking for the opportunities because although some people will not make it, others will flourish. It's always a balance. She's gonna weed out the unprepared, the ones who partied. Y'all know the ant and the grasshopper parable. Y'all know that one, right? Where the ants they worked during those times when it was warm and just building up for the hard times. Whereas the grasshopper he partied and waited, then it got cold and he was stuck, and he had to go ask the ants for help. Don't be the grasshopper. Yeah, a lot of people's like some people say, oh, they've been preaching this for a long time. Yes, because it's actually gonna happen. Now they can't tell you when, but be prepared. And I'm usually not one who talked about these things. And now I'm really hearing, hey, I need to talk about it. Um, it said Jamie Dimon sold a lot of Chase stock also. Yeah, the bank's about to fall, baby. Guess you know what's else making these banks fall? People are defaulting on those credit cards. That fake money. They defaulting. All right, let's go to the beginning. Let's see. Discipleship Ministry said, peace, brother, and everyone. Blessings to everyone. Asim Shabbat. Asim, text me in the morning so I can call. I meant to call you today. I know you had asked me to call you like weeks ago, and I just keep forgetting. My bad, brother. Give me a text in the morning and I will call you to remind you. If I don't remember, I'll call you tomorrow. Just remind me. In La Vida said peace to all. C King Bay said peace everyone. Corinne says happy Tuesday, everyone. Corinne is the host of the Level Up Thursdays. We do that show together every Thursday, 7 p.m. Tune in for great information. What was it you're gonna talk about this coming Thursday? Just shoot me a message on the in the chat. DJ B Thunder, peace, love, great health, prosperity, and extreme wealth to everyone. Same back to you, brother. I hope what I gave you worked out for you. AY said, peace, Akeem, and people. Save it for the membership. Yeah. I don't know. This one, it said it's for everybody. I don't know. Javier Boles said Abola is, I don't know, Arbalez. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct, bro. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Shopper Shamim says some people buy it and get so caught up in the process before they check it out themselves, start selling it before they find out it doesn't work. Right, I know, because people are looking for ways to make money. But you want to make money off things that you've actually done. Jason in Brazil. You still in Brazil, bro? Love that place. I was actually thinking about going there and moving to Brazil. I want to get out of there. I asked a guy who was selling a trust information how to win foreclosure information. Did he ever go through foreclosure? He said yes, but he didn't want the house, so he let it go. Oh man, that's a bunch of junk. Son of the One True King started at the end of 2019. Jason's talking about the Black Swan. Okay. Karen said the topic for Thursday is gonna be how to train our brain. Good. That's yeah. I need some training too. I know that's gonna be good. He said close. I correct me. You'll get me straight. Um, he said the paperwork will work for sure. It's already been written. Yeah. You know, this week I had the privilege of helping a couple of people out with some cases. My son got sued by a debt collector. I put something together for him. Um, I tell you, boy, you can my children know what I do, and they wait and they don't handle their business, and then they come at the last minute trying to get me to fix it. But anyway, what is it? 8 o'clock. I didn't mean to give y'all all that doom and gloom like you would get on the evening news. I just want y'all to prepare and be ready, because some things we just can't control. We can't control how they've been running this country into the ground for all of these years, printing money out of thin air and think it's not going to have repercussions. The repercussions are here. So, with that being said, hey, join the webinar. The webinar is March the 16th. And also, this station takes dollars to run. All of these things I'm doing, it costs. Now that I got a team on board to help me, I got to pay them too to keep it going. So if you can, donate. $ Akiem. That's my Cash App. I think it's in the description too. And then you can, if you want to donate by Zelle, I hope they put that, yeah. Oh, Zelle, you just put my email address in there. There's the email. Hey, and all you people who are not familiar with me, I appreciate your emails where you're coming to me for advice. I appreciate that. But respectfully, my time is limited. Donate to the cause and go to Akiem.com and set up a consultation. I could talk. Listen, I have a wide range of information, and all of it's from experience. That's dealing with the IRS, child support, uh, student loan debt, getting rid of debt. What else? Trust. Everything I can teach, the passport, everything. This is the one resource that you have. I can guarantee you that I have experience with foreclosure in which you're gonna call me about. And here's the thing: if I, which is almost never happens, if there's something I don't know, I put you in a place where there's somebody who do know. Okay. Yes, I've gotten a mortgage foreclosure dismissed. I have. I could take you to the court record and show you. I was in the class the other week and I pulled up a a document, well, a background check of myself of some traffic tickets that showed they was dismissed. So listen, if they're not showing you that stuff, showing you that they actually did this stuff that they're teaching you, then you need not be listening. Stop listening to people who don't give you proof of everything. Everything in my membership, the name change. If you go watch the older videos, I show you my name change. In trademarking your that all caps, I show you my trademark. Now, here's the crazy thing. When it comes to some of this stuff, I teach people are getting their stuff done better than me because I use myself as the guinea pig in the beginning. And then some of the stuff I had errors and I had to go back and fix. So the stuff that people are learning from me now is after it's been perfected. And I made mistakes. Remember, I got denied my passport 3 times before I got it. 3 times. And y'all, people I'm teaching, they doing one time, they getting it. Boom. Why? Because they got it that fast because they they learned through my own mistakes. I'm the there's not you can there's people who've been with me for a long time, like Dax. Although me and Dax be butting heads sometimes, but that's all in love. Because I know I expect more from him than I expect from everybody else. He's been here since the beginning. So I ain't gonna let him get you know cut cut shorts. But anyway, there's not much. This in this space, there's not too many things I don't have experience in. And I can tell you with all certainty what will work and what won't work. And people have tried to prove me wrong and oh, that was different. Okay, go ahead, try it out. And they always come back. Yeah, you said it. You see? Now, I'm gonna be honest. I cheat a little. I have experience. I cheat a little. in some of my stuff. Ancestor said, "Don't tell them your secrets." Well, I have tools at my disposal that I could dump stuff in, and boom, it gives me what I need. But you have to know how to use that. But anyway, Javier says, I sent to the address you had on there, the iCloud one. The iCloud one. The iCloud. I don't know what that means. What iCloud one? I'm not quite understanding what you're saying. Well, we'll talk. Javier's getting married end of this month. Congratulations to him and his new bride. And he has given me the honor of officiating his wedding. Yes, y'all, I even can officiate weddings. I could do it if y'all want that, that marriage thing or not. That license or not. I could do it either way. I'm legit in that space. Remember, my name is is um is trademarked as a religious institution. So no one can use my name, Akiem Barber, in any religious ceremony, nothing. I'm the only one that can use it. Check on your channel. Okay, I'll check. Um, so I'll be down there in the what is that? Miami. This is my first time going to Miami. I've never been to Miami. Thanks to Javier. He's introduced me to the place. He's been hospitable. See, when you great energy attracts good energy. Javier is a good guy. Most everybody that come to my group are good people, and the ones that ain't really good, they don't last long. And it ain't like I kick them out; they stop being there. They just stop showing up. They come for their whatever reasons they came, and then they don't come back. That's okay. But the people that have the greatest energy that want to stick around and know that I evolved. Listen, if you are still learning the same stuff that you learned 10 years ago and it's not being upgraded, then you're in the wrong place, because I'm telling you, this is the Matrix. And if you watch that movie, The Matrix, and if you haven't, you need to. Just like those agents upgrade, you got to upgrade. So this is a constant learning and adapting. Like I've the passport. It's a new adaptation coming on. The new one, I'm gonna teach y'all how not to give up that social now. That's the adaptation. I think I did it on the last one, but I'm gonna go even harder, because technically you don't have to give it to them. The only reason why they want your social security number so they can rat you out to the treasury so that they can see if you owe money and get that money. That's the only reason why they want that social. And all of that is unconstitutional, because you're going to take that number, give it to them so that they can uh, deny me a passport on the grounds that I may owe some money to the IRS. So that means they denying you due process, which is unconstitutional. Who says that they are correct in that assessment that I owe them some money? We all know that the IRS is very good at denying due process. You owe, you owe. I sent this, I sent this. And no, so what? That's how they act. But it's our place our job to put them back in check. So, all right, 8:11, man. I've been rambling and I didn't even finish this. Should I drink this? If I drink this, we'll be here for another hour. If I drink another sip, should I drink this, ancestors? They say take one more sip. Yeah. Take a sip. They said that was a babysit. I know y'all be saying, Akeem, ooh, that one. Uh-oh. That one hit hard. Man. Yo, I just took a sip and then, but that second one, something came through there. Something opened up a portal. Man. Okay. All right. To all you people who say y'all want to level up, the question is this: what's holding you back? What's holding you back? I know the answer, and I think you know the answer. And I'm talking to myself too. I'm in this too. That's why that thing hit hard. It was like, whoa. The only thing holding me back is me. The things that I allow to distract me. The decisions I decide not to make that I know I need to make to go to that next level. It's me. And I'm hoping you coming to the same conclusion as I just came to, that it's you that's holding you back. And what you have to do when this is all over, when I'm done with this show, the ancestors said it wasn't time to go. I had to say this to you. When it's all said and done, go look at yourself in the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes. I know it's difficult. I know looking at yourself in the eyes is a little awkward. You feel a little funny. But let me tell you something. Nothing great comes to you without discomfort. Diamonds are made through what? Discomfort, agitation, irritation, manipulation. That's how diamonds are made. Yeah, I mean, just a little mustard seed you put in the ground. In order for that bud to come out, it's got to break out of that seed. Discomfort. See, it's been too long and it's been programmed into us that we should run away from things that are hard. No, we should be running towards the hard stuff to learn it. And when I mean good hard stuff, not hard stuff like getting involved in bad relationships with people. No, that's not what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about those things that you know, those dreams that you have, and you want to get to the next level and you want to make a certain amount of money, you want to reach a certain amount of people, you want to change people's lives. It's going to come with difficulty. It's going to be hard because you're in this, your seed. See, that whole the master or the one who's laying the seed, guess who that is? That's God. You're the seed that God paved out here, that put out here into the ground. And some of those seeds don't make it. But God is steady planting those seeds. And you got to grow and blossom to something. Hopefully, you're one of those seeds that grow in fertile ground. And what happens with plants? One seed in its lifetime, I don't know the numbers, I don't know the statistics, but I'm just going to go on a whim and say can make millions more seeds. Just one. And that's who you are. See, you if you're the good seed, and by the example of how you live your life and the things you do, you're going to create more seeds just like you. Yeah, just like any plant that has seeds, some of those seeds are not going to blossom. That's just the way it is. They're not. But that's why so many come, because it comes in such an abundance. It doesn't matter if that one doesn't blossom. The other ones will, and continue the cycle of creating that same plant over and over again. That's why you got to get busy. Because you are planting seeds just like God used you as a seed. And you're planting seeds. And you got to plant so many of them that eventually the other ones will blossom and overshadow the ones that don't. And I tell you right now, don't worry about your family. Don't worry about the close friends, because they ain't gonna follow you for the most part. They're gonna listen to somebody else. Or what they're gonna do is listen, you said and go verify it by somebody else that they think is more valuable. I have, you know what I've learned over the last year? How to accept that in my life. That the people that I really care about or want to listen to me won't listen to me, and they will go someone else and get the same information and do it. What I had to learn is as long as they got the information, guess what? I still planted that seed. I started it off. They watered. That's what I had to grow up. I had to grow up and learn that it's okay that they don't listen. Just deal with the ones that's listening. And still plant the seed, even if it doesn't grow. Still plant that seed. Don't force it. Don't go taking up a dead seed and thinking you're going, no, man, you plant it, hey, that thing's no good. Move on to the next one. It says, be fruitful, you are the seeds. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's it. Be fruitful and become many. Isn't that interesting? It said fruitful and fruit just keeps one tree can produce so many fruit, and then from that one, all of those fruit they can just keep continuing the cycle. That's who we are. And sister said that was it. That's all I had to say. All right. Well, with that being said, just so y'all can get a glimpse into what happens after I do a show, I totally crash. Someone was talking to me about my show the other day, and they was like, "Yeah, I was listening to the show, blah blah blah," and I was like, "What did I say?" Because I couldn't remember nothing. But I remembered a little bit, but that's what happens, man. And guess what? I'm not unique. I'm not special because I get these downloads. You guys are special too. You getting downloads too. It's just sometimes, when you have so much going on that you don't know that it's a download. Or you could be like me. For many years, I was getting these downloads, but I was afraid to speak them or move towards them. Just open up. Now, how long it took me to say, hey, I'm God. God is in me. God talks through me. To get the boldness to say that took me all the years I was doing Hindsight Radio and Blog Talk. I knew that and I spoke on it, but I wasn't saying it with confidence until recently. I had to transform. But now you can't tell me nothing else. But anyway, and why was I worried? Because I was worried because how people would receive that. I don't, you know what? The Christ consciousness does not worry about what people say. Because and when you look, I had to go back and read all of the stories of Christ and how they would criticize him when he did something on the Sabbath. And they criticize him when he healed and he did this. He's healing in the name of Beelzebub. They found every which way to find something negative about the good he was doing. And I said, wait a minute. Who am I to sit here and worry about what people are going to say? That at the end of the day, they not what they say don't move the needle one bit. Only I and my belief in what they're saying is going to move the needle. I control that. And with that being said, peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to everyone. Have a good night. See y'all Thursday, 7 p.m. Go and get that webinar that I'm going to do on the 16th. Till then, peace. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.